All right, we are live on YouTube. Hello, guys. Make sure you introduce yourself on the comment section. And so I'm really excited tonight. I've met these guys from Delphi Trading, and John and Steve, both are co-owners of the service. And I'm super excited because the results that you guys are going to see are fantastic. Like, they really are fantastic. Better than anything I've ever seen in any of these trading services, to be honest. And John is very humble with his results. He's done really, really well, but they're absolutely amazing. So I'm excited to go through what he's done in the past and talk about like what he's doing at the moment and go from there. So, John, if you could actually give like a brief introduction to yourself, like just like 10 minutes of like what you've done in the past, how you started trading, that kind of thing, I think that would be a really good start to this live stream.
Yeah, so I've been trading since, I'm going to age myself here, but back in the internet days, and started off trading stocks, not options. Was thrown into the whole crazy internet bubble. Very wild times, seeing crazy moves. I remember seeing Yahoo when it was like at $3. So started off doing that. At that time, lost my ass during the bubble burst of the .com bubble burst. So that was the first and only time that I ever blew out a trading account. So basically, had to start from scratch. Then got into options. Been trading options ever since. Since then, took some time off. I did really well. Took some time off. Decided to get into real estate. Was doing really good there until the real estate crashed. So I've been through a lot of these market crashes. The internet crash, the real estate financial crisis. Recently the COVID crash. So I've been through all the ups and downs. So I was doing that, and then got back into options trading after the real estate crash, and then got into option flow trading probably 8 or 9 years ago. And then around the same time, I got involved into crypto. So, here I am today with, I've been on several platforms as a user and also as a coach, mentor, head trader. So I've been on several different platforms, and then just decided to do my own thing here with Steve, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So you showed me some results that were just absolutely amazing. So I was just blown away, man. Like, it's pretty freaking cool. Pretty amazing to me. And so I was wondering, like, if you could go through some of like what you guys have been doing, and I can post a link to what the system is like and what you guys can do for subscribers and things. So if you want to share your screen, I can like show these guys like.
Yeah, let me start. I have some things laid out. It's not really a presentation,
No,
but
you just put some.
I'm just gonna wing it and go through some things here. So let me do my screen share.
So these guys are really into Greek stuff. So like this is, even though I come from Europe, I really haven't kept up with the Greek Greek mythology and things. So
Okay.
I've had a hard time like dealing with like the different names here and things. But let's go through like what.
Okay.
You
So
mentioned.
you see the screen? Is it up?
Yeah, I posted it full screen, so people should be looking at your charts here.
Okay. So the two questions I always get that people ask me, no matter where I'm at, are number one, how do I find the trades that I'm trading, like the stocks that I'm trading? How do I find that? Because we can't look at 500 or 1,000 stock charts a day, right? So that's the first question, and the second question I always get is, how do I know when to sell or take profits or exit trades? Okay, so um, about 2 years ago, I was doing my trading, and I felt like I would go through, I don't know, 40, 50 charts a day trying to find trade setups, and I ran into a developer and who was also a trader, And I just happened to ask him. I go, hey, I use all these different indicators and all these different things. I go, can I? Is there a way to put all these things together to give us these stocks that I find? And short story, yes. So we created the Delphi signal, and which has been on about 2 years now. So that's one of the avenues that I use for a lot of my trades, okay, which is what you see here, okay.
Yeah.
Now there's been a couple different versions. This is the latest version. We keep adding to it, some amazing things here. But what this does again, it's scanning the market, scanning thousands of stocks, and giving us the best trade setups for the day. Okay, so that's what it's doing. So if you look here, I can't draw on the screen share, but you'll have to follow my cursor. So it's giving us the stocks here, the symbols. It's giving us the signal buy or sell. It gives us the type of candle. Now we teach candle, technicals in our educational channels on how to read candles. So it gives us the candle, it gives us the price, and then here we added a really cool feature for people who kind of want to get an idea what options they might want to take. So if I expand these, you'll see this gives option chains for the stock associated with the signal. So you have low risk, medium risk, high risk, depending on your type of style of trading. So this is a really cool feature we have. Now you can't click it and get onto your broker account, but it's more or less saving the time of having to go through different option chains, and spend some time doing that. So that's a cool feature we added. You can close these up. But anyway, the really cool feature about this is that if you look, we have TradingView integrated here, and this is an interactive TradingView chart. So if you see here, the signals, which are colored, stay on the chart forever. So it's an amazing way to back check or fact check, however you want to call it, what the signal has done. Now look, it's not 100% guaranteed. If it was, me and Steve would probably be on a yacht somewhere, but it's amazingly accurate. And we'll get to the performance at the end, but the signals stay on. So we can see here, like back here, there was a red one. What happened? It went down, right? Here was a green, it went up. So we can see the signals on the stock on how they've done, okay? Which now there's a red one here, okay, which is why it's on here, a bearish engulfing candle. So this is an amazing thing that I love because it keeps us honest. And look, some stocks might not trade well technically, and they might not follow the signal. So when you see something like this would be a stock that you might want to trade. Okay, so that's a really cool feature. This does work on all time frames. If you're a day trader, you know which Leviathan is. It works really well on that. And then also we're adding pattern recognition to this. So right now we have double tops, double bottoms. Okay, so if I just go to we can go to completed one here on the top. Okay, so this is more like M tops or W bottoms. So this is a really cool feature. We're going to be adding more patterns like cup and handles, head and shoulders. But you can see here, you can see here on this what the signal did on this stock. Red one, it gives us a move down, red, move down, green, that went up. And here was a red signal on the left shoulder of this pattern, which it ended up going down too there. So this is a really, really cool feature that we have here.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see technical patterns on these indicators as well. Like I've reviewed a lot of them, and to see double tops and double bottoms and things is actually pretty rare. Like a lot of these companies don't actually show these fairly simple patterns, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so you can see it here. So so this is a really cool feature, and this again is one of the main ones I use the signal. This I tell people all the time because we do a lot of different trades, which I'll get into. But if you're like a conservative trader, if you're someone who can't look at the market, all day long, like we have doctors, physicians who are our users, this is really what you want to follow and use, because I'm a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. I leave that up to Leviathan. And some swing trades can even be very volatile depending on what you're trading. Crypto, MicroStrategy, Coinbase. A lot of these stocks are very volatile. You have to watch. I'm not saying you don't have to watch this or trades that come off of this, but these would be considered the very conservative trades that you might want to take. Okay.
Pretty cool.
And one other thing that I want to show here. If we look here, another really cool feature, we show the metrics of the day, okay? So you can see today, this is today, we had 91% sell signals and only 8% buy signals, okay? Why is that important? Because this signal, when it gets skewed like this, tends to forecast short-term where the indexes might go. Okay, so in this case, we see 91%. I know the markets today turned around and sold off a little bit. But if we look at, I'm just going to go to our social page really quick because we post some stuff on our social. This was a couple weeks ago, I think. We posted, so there was 93% heavy sell signals on the signal, and then which led to the markets going down. Okay, so
John, I'm not seeing anything on the screen at the moment. It's like a black screen. Are you on your social page?
Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah, it might be worth.
The screen share, I can't. I have this. It goes out when I share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I go back and forth?
There we go. It looks like I'm gonna add it to the stage now. So like I'm looking at Delphi signal. Yeah, I can see it now. So that's good.
Right. So on this day again, on July 3rd. We had heavy sell signals and we ended up going down. And again, here was an example of UPS was on the sell signal. And again, you can see the signals play out. Okay, so you can see that. So now if I go to another slide here, I'm going to go to our Discord. I just want to make sure I keep this screen share on. So
yeah, I'll keep an eye on it and see. Make sure you go to the Discord right now, and I'll make sure that you're on, your screen share. Yeah, it's kind of gone black again. I wonder if you want to screen share.
Let me do entire screen. Does that work that way?
Usually, if you go to like the window, it will show you the window.
Let me try entire screen. Okay.
All right,
we're in the Discord, right?
Okay, I'll add it to the stage. Perfect. All right, here's the Discord. So yeah.
Okay, so this is what we call the Delphi room on Discord, and we have a ton of channels here. I'll go through these. I won't spend much time on crypto and stuff because that's Leviathan he's doing that stuff. So we're in the chat. So there's a lot of things going on in the chat, as you can see. I mean, we have users posting trades that they took. This is a crypto trade. This person never traded crypto until he came to us, and that's basically because of Leviathan. Okay, so we have a lot of guys who never traded crypto, but when you see his results, are adding crypto to their trading. So we're really psyched about him being here, and he's doing an amazing job. So a lot of things are posted in the chat. We usually start off the day with what's coming up market-wise with the news, market reports. Today we had the CPI. So we post a lot of stuff. This one here, since it's here, so this is kind of crazy. We'll get to the trade performance, but this was something that I did about over a year ago. I had a trading account that had under $2,000 in it. It was kind of dormant. I wasn't really using it. So I just decided to start trading in it, only following the Delphi signal. And I had some ETFs in there, crypto ETFs, which I recently cashed out yesterday. But you can see what this signal has done on a small account. Okay, this was 1 year. So it started off under 2,000. It's over 10x already.
It's
So
amazing.
yeah, so I know we're going to show the performance at the end with our trade logs and stuff, but this is proof of an actual trading account, right? You can see that.
Yeah,
So
so cool.
so anyway, so yeah, this is the chat. We cover a lot of stuff, market information. Users are in here again. Leviathan posted a nice trade today, 142%. So, we post charts in here, just a lot of different things. So that's the chat, very active. The next channel here, the Delphi signal trade ideas. Now, again, these are the trades that we're posting strictly off the signal. Okay, so these are going to be more conservative. You're going to see not as many as the non-signal trades, which I'll get to. But a typical trade we post, I'll post the trade, what the stock is, the current price of the stock, where the target is, and then we post what options to look at. Now, again, we're not financial advisors. We're just kind of getting data out, right? So whatever options traders want to use, they can use whatever they want. So we post the ones that we're trading or I'm trading. And then all the instructions, option targets, where to get out. So you can see here we got in at $1.50. We started scaling out at 220, 225, and then ended up closing it actually the next day at 218. This was like a 50% win on this trade. And again, how do you know when to sell or take profits? We have a strategy and a plan that we use it's extremely important, okay? You have to have a plan, you have to have a strategy when it comes to trading, or else you're just going to lose your ass. Okay, you can't trade blind. Okay, so this is kind of an example. You have to have stop losses, you have to have risk management. We cover all that in our educational channels, but again, that's something that you really, really need. You can't stress that enough. So this is where we post all the Delphi signal trades that come off the Delphi signal. Day trades, I'll leave that to Leviathan. He's in here, posting his day trade winners. What he does, which is awesome with day trading and crypto, and he'll talk about this. He always posts what he's about to trade, and then he takes the trade after, and then he screenshots his trading account with the trade updates. Okay, so that's amazing that he does that. Okay, not too many people. Yeah, so that's the day trade room that he runs. Non-signal trades. When we get to the performance, you're going to see that this is where we do a lot of trades. We get trades off the UOA channel, which we'll get to later, option flows. We have trades off of patterns. We take trades off of maybe some crypto, because we are very bullish crypto here. All kinds of different trades. So these are everything but the Delphi signal, okay? And you can see, recently we had some trades in here that closed out yesterday and today. IBIT, which is a crypto name, we got it at 195. We closed it out yesterday at 510.
Wow.
OKLO, this was a UOA I'll get to later. We got it at $1.10. Almost took a double there, 195. These actually went to over $4. And then just a bunch of other trades recently today. SMCI 90 cents. We got out some at 175, almost a double there. And then SBET was we've been trading this for a week or so, just amazing results. Got in at 180, trimmed some today, took some profits at 550. Okay, so you can see all the trades that we take, we post, and then we journalize, and that's where we get all our performance. Okay, I'll get to the UOA channel later on. Delphi charts, this is where we post all our charts. Very, very important channel. We tell the users all the time. A lot of the charts we post here end up working out, okay? And when we talk about UOA, option flow, we call it UOA, you have to match the option flow with charts, okay? I'll get to that later, but we sometimes post charts here, like you see today, CCJ, we got some option flow, and I post the chart, and how does the setup look? Does the setup match the option flow? Okay, that can be powerful when you see option flow and the technicals match. That becomes very powerful. Okay, we just we post a bunch of other charts. IWM, we post the indexes here, so we post a lot of charts in this channel. Okay, and then crypto. This is where we post all our crypto things. I mean, me and Leviathan are big in crypto, so we post stuff in here. Crypto futures, which is his channel. I won't spend any time on this, but you can see his results. And we were talking before we went live about his win percentage. And I mean, I would have to say it's easily over 85%, 90%. Okay, so you can just see his trades. You'll see a loser or a red once in a while, but I mean, there's just a lot of green here. I mean, 100%, 200%. Wow. So, yeah, you can see. I mean, I could keep going up. It'd be a lot of green. When he posts a losing trade, it's like when the full moon is out. You know what I
mean? Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we have here crypto model folio. This is where we have all our long-term cryptos. I'm not a crypto trader. I'm actually going to start getting into it because of Leviathan. I've always been a crypto investor. So this is where we post all our long-term crypto stuff. Okay, our charts. If we scroll all the way up to the top, we have our portfolio with all our crypto names in there, which we're going to start cashing out in another month or so. So this channel is a really great channel. Again, futures. This is his Leviathan's channel. I do not trade futures. He trades futures, and he's really good at it. So we have a futures channel, open positions. We have this for our current positions that we're in, as in regards to Delphi signal and non-Delphi signal trades. And then market reports. We just post our, I do a live call every Tuesday morning, which the recording's in here. We do a market report every weekend for the community, kind of looking at the indexes, looking at, the major stocks, kind of forecasting where we think indexes and stocks can go, which we're really like over 90% with our index forecasts. So a lot of that information's here. Again, we can review. This is where we post our performance. You can see last week we did over 100% on the week. Now again, have to stress this. Our percentages are going off of a $10,000 starter account. Okay, that's the way our tracker, which is TradeZella, tracks it. So just full disclosure, when you see these gains, okay, that's what they're going off of, and I'll get to that towards the end as well. So this is where our performance is posted every week. And then down here, we have 2 market indicators, okay? These are extremely valuable, okay? Both of these are about 90% accurate at predicting market reversals, okay? The MO indicator, okay, we can see here, we post semi-overbought, neutral, so this is amazing at picking out overbought, oversold index conditions. And then the cycle line, I'm going to get to this on TradingView, but this thing, I've been following it for over 2 years. It's only been wrong once in 2 years. So I don't trade the index as much. I only trade the indexes off of these 2 market indicators that we have, okay? And then, of course, we have our YouTube channel and X channel that we post our content on. Testimonials, where our users post all their awesome performance. Again, you can see, this person off of Leviathan crushing 1,000% trade. So, again, a lot of our users are posting their performance, which we appreciate. Michael here, this is amazing. He took a trade on a stock that I had taken and posted for the community. He got in at $15, sold out at $44. And it basically paid for his 2 years of his subscription on one trade. So love seeing that. That was awesome to see. And again, everybody posting your performance here.
Cool.
Paid this 2,000% winner off of another crypto trade. So you can see why guys are wanting to trade crypto, right? So we just do amazing things here with the crypto channel. So that's the testimonials, and then coming down here, this is where all our educational content is. Extremely important. If you're coming on to join us, you have to go through this channel, go through the educational videos. there aren't a lot. Okay, I'm not a person who likes to be throwing out 100 videos for education. So there aren't that many, but these cover a lot of what we're doing here, from our trading strategy and our plan on how we trade, to reading support resistance, candles, gap theory, rubber band effects, CCI, our favorite indicator, stochastics. And then, very important, we have a checklist. Okay? We tell everybody they have to use this trading checklist until it's memorized in their head. Okay? When you're going to take a trade, you need to go through this checklist. Okay? It's a game changer. It saves people from getting in bad trades. It saves people from losing money. Can't stress this enough. This is extremely important. If anyone's coming on that's going to join, again, check this out. Extremely important. Okay? So this is where all the educational channels in. How you read UOA, unusual option activity, which is this channel here. Okay? Now this channel has been, there's no words. A lot of the performance you see has a lot to do with this channel. Okay? What this is, and nobody's doing this anywhere. I'm not just saying that because we're here. I still use a service to get data for option flow. Any service you use for option flow, they're not parsing it out, okay? They're just giving you the flow, and you have to figure out what to do with it, okay? Which is extremely hard. I lost $50,000 when I first got into trading option flows, okay? So what we do here, we get the option flows, and then we parse it out and post the relevant ones. Now, it's not 100%, it's not guaranteed. If me and you were talking about this yesterday, Russ, that we don't really know what they're doing with the option flow. They could be hedges. They could have, look, I don't know, we can pull IWM. Okay, look at these that hit today. So you look at these option flows, yeah, they're about $8 million for puts, but they could have a $1 billion long position, and these are just a hedge, right? So you really never know. It's not an exact science. We have got it down to where it's become very profitable. Luckily, the win percentage on these is good. You're not going to win every one, but if I moved here now, okay, getting more into the option flows, I'm almost done. But so what you're seeing here is what I look at every day, okay? And if you look here, this is 30 minutes of option flows, okay? Only 30 minutes. There's like 10 here. So you can imagine how many I'm looking at all day long, right? From what I've done in the past, like I said, I lost a lot of money trading this. I went back to the drawing board for 1 year. I followed option flows. I took data down. I analyzed it to the point where I can weed out what I think is not going to work. Okay. Now there's a lot that goes into it. We don't have time to go into all that, which we have an educational video on that. But just to kind of give you an idea, I'm looking at these all day long, and I'm taking out the relevant ones to post for our community in the UOA channel. Okay. Again, unusual option activity is what it stands for. So this is just information. Traders, we have guys who traded on their own that do really well. But again, at the end, this is just data that we're supplying, okay? We're taking the relevant ones out of all the noise, okay? So, as an example, here we had this stock DBRG, okay? Now, they didn't buy a lot of these. It was 500,000. But one of the things I look at are names or symbols that I've never seen before. Now, I've been trading a long time, so I know most tickers. When I see one I don't know, that catches my eye, okay? So they came in, they bought these $9 calls, okay? They bought 5,000 of those. Okay, block means institutional money. So this was an institution that bought these, okay? So what happens when I see the option flow that I like? I post it. Well, first I look at the chart. I always look at the chart and look at the technicals, because if I see option flow and the chart doesn't look good, I'm not going to trade it. Okay, I'll pass. I won't even post it to the community, okay? But when DBRG, which is Digital Bridge, on that day, again, it was back here, around $9, I saw this pattern, this cup and handle pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumped on it, okay? I jumped on it, I posted it for the community, and I mean, just look how crazy this trade was. The next day, it hit the pattern target at $12 from 9 to 12. That's just an insane percentage move, right?
Yeah.
So believe it or not, this happens a lot, but you have to put in the work. You have to do the technical analysis, which we teach how to read charts. And, you know, once in a while you get one like this, and then we post a trade. So here, again, in the non-signal trade channel, posted a trade, $9 calls, 95 cents, following UOA bullish chart pattern. Then I gave another option if they wanted to buy $8 calls. So we posted the trade, and then here you go. The trade went from 95 cents. We closed it the next morning, over 240.
That's nice.
And again, this is a company I never would have saw, never heard of. The only reason we saw it and traded it and made money was because of the UOA channel, right? And the option flows. So that was one example. We had a recent one here. I just looking at from 11th. OKLO came through. They bought, you know, $500,000 again of these $60 calls. Now look, the stock was at $55. This is a very volatile stock. And they bought these $60 calls, again, expiring this week, $55 for, it was about $1.22. We got in these, supposed to the trade at $1.10. So we took a trade on these. I liked them. And then we just closed these out. Again, I showed you almost a double, but they got up to 420. So you can see that, right? It's how it works. And then I'm just going to end it before I get to the performance with coin, because we had option flows on this thing. A lot of the crypto UOAs that come through, they hit very often, and they're the most amazing trades that you'll ever see, or moves. Okay, so you can see here, somebody came through. They bought over 10,000 of these calls, 232.50 calls on Coinbase. Stock was under 200. So look at that. They went off $30 out of the money. Okay, you see that?
Yep.
Look what these did. It went from 43 cents to over $31. So, I mean, there's no words for this, right? And again, we see it in the option flow channel. We post the UOA in the channel, and we trade it. We have traders who trade it. You know, other ones here, a trade we took at $1.60, hit $55.
Yep.
Literally 2 days later, right? So this is what that channel's producing, and why a lot of our performance is the way it is from the option flow channel. Another one went from 84 cents to 37 in 1 day. So amazing stuff. And then, you know, I think I got the performance up next. So this is the performance. We started back in February of just the Delphi signal. You'll see here it's circled Delphi signal. So this is the trade performance just off the signal alone. Okay, so we just followed that channel and we took the Delphi signal trades. Again, you would be up about 200%. Okay, now that's nothing to sneeze at. We're going to get to the other stuff which makes this look small. But again, if you're just looking for conservative trades to grow your account, and we teach how to grow your account, you know, a lot of questions come in, how do you know, allocate, how do you grow your trading account? Well, we teach that too. And again, if you're just trading the Delphi signal, you know, 74%. So in the trading world, that's pretty really good. So anything over 60 to 63 is actually really good. So this is the performance just off the Delphi signal. Okay, so now I think I have the next one up here. Okay, so this is the overall performance of the non-signal trade channel. Again, going back to February, Russ, we talked about this yesterday. Sometimes I'm very uncomfortable with this trade performance. We're not a scam. We're not trying to cheat people. I am not that way. I'm not going to lie. If I saw that, I would second guess it. is really what it is. Again, going off of a $10,000 starter account. Okay, and you can see the win percentage, profit factor just off the charts. Our day win percentage is like 82%. And again, the main thing here, your winners have to outweigh your losers. Both, you need to have more winning trades than your losing trades, and you need to be booking higher wins than you lose, which goes to our trading strategy. Okay, so you can see here, almost 80% on the winning side and only 35% on the losing. You can see a lot of the green, and the red you see is very limited and very small. And that goes into our plan, our strategy, and everything we do here at Delphi. So that's it for me. I know I went longer, but we pretty much covered everything that we're doing here that you asked me to cover.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for presenting all that. I think the data is amazing. We have a few questions to answer, and then we can kind of go from there. So a lot of people are saying things like, let's look at this one. How do you trade futures? So Leviathan, I think, is the one that does the futures trading, right? So how do you trade futures? I guess we didn't really focus too much on that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by how do you trade.
Anything like day trades, crypto trading, futures, that's his jam. That's why he's here.
Yeah. Well, it depends on whether this gentleman means crypto futures, which is just a fancy way of saying crypto options. So if you know how to trade stock options, they're remarkably similar. You're still buying contracts. Instead of calls, they're called longs. Instead of puts, they're called shorts. But if he's talking about how do you trade futures on the indexes for stocks like M2K, NQ, which is the NASDAQ equivalent, QQQ, and stuff like that, they're pretty easy to trade. You usually, if you're going to be trading with real money, need at least $25,000 in an account, or you can use what many users start off with, which is, hey, buddy, that's enough. Sorry, guys. You can use basically a funded account. You purchase an account that's funded. Problem with that is that you do have some barriers and limitations that you need to be acutely aware of so that you don't blow up your account. Right? You can't go into massive drawdowns, otherwise you lose everything. But it just depends largely on what I can't pronounce that Sampath is saying. But I will elaborate if you have another question.
Yeah, some interesting questions here. Kind of basic stuff like how can I trade this crypto in the USA? I mean, it's pretty straightforward right, how you guys trade crypto.
Well, there are some exchanges that are not allowed in the United States, like BingX, Binance, which is one that everybody knows. I use Blowfin, where you do not need a passport from another country in order to use the exchange. So U.S. citizens can use Blowfin, be like boy, Lofin,
Okay.
And you don't need any, the stuff like VPNs so that you're in a different country and you don't need a passport from another country.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I thought that was a simple question, but I guess it's not, right? How can I trade crypto in the USA? Interesting. Okay, cool. So we have a few kind of skeptical questions here. We'll get to those in a few minutes. Sampath says, how do we check the checklist for day trading? I'm not quite sure what that means.
I think that's what I was telling you, John, before this started. How do you day trade the signal?
Well, I think he's asking about the trading checklist. So the trading checklist, there's a bunch of different criteria. There's 7 items that you have to go through, okay? Reading volume, reading candles, reading, where the support resistance is, moving averages, indicators that we use. So there's 7 different things. Now, it works on all time frames, whether you're a day trader, whether you're on a weekly chart, monthly chart, hourly chart, it doesn't matter. The checklist is the checklist. It can be applied toward all kinds of trading. Okay, now if you don't know some of the things I'm talking about, we do cover those in our educational channels. But I will say this, the Delphi signal was built off of the checklist. Okay, so I tell people, in our community all the time. If you're using the Delphi signal, you don't have to look at the checklist because that's what the Delphi signal is doing, and that's kind of what it's scanning for, right? So again, yeah, the checklist, again, you could just use it for any kind. You can even use it for crypto trading. You can use it any kind of trading because it has to deal with 7 different technical indicators, okay? Russ, I don't know, there's another question I saw that came through about JF. There's a lot of signals on the chart. Are you going to get to that?
Yeah, let's do that one. So, there are many signals a day. You obviously can't take them all. How many
Right.
do you make sure to pick the winners?
Yeah, so this is a really great question and important question, okay? Which we teach this as well, but when I'm using the signal, I'm looking for, again, I pull up the chart, do my analysis. If I see there's a big enough move for a trade, because I'm a swing trader, I'm a directional trader. If I see a stock that could go up, like let's say it's a buy signal, but it's only going to go up $1 or $2, I'm not going to trade it. I need something that's going to give me a bigger move, right? Now, it's not to say you can't trade that. I'm not a spread trader. If you're a spread trader, you can trade a lot of these signals and get kind of creative with spread trading. But to answer the question, it just depends on your style of trading. So for me, I really pick out the ones that show me the biggest move. And also, I start off, I look at the engulfing candles first, because those are the strongest candles to trade off of, which we teach how to read candles. And then I look at like shooting stars and different kind of candles. I go through those first, and then I'll work my way down. A lot of times I find trades and I don't really have to spend much time on it because it's literally like pulling up a chart, and it'll hit me in the face. It'll be like, wow, this looks good to trade. And then I'll trade it. Okay, I don't know if that's kind of answering the question. But
in other words, John will actually look at the signal. He'll parse out the ones that fit technicals. He'll post it in the Delphi signal channel, and he does all the heavy lifting for you guys.
Yeah, for the trades that are posted. If you're using it on your own, then it's really up to the trader, right?
Yeah, to find confirmation, correct.
Yeah.
Russell, can I jump in here for a second?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay. So I've been listening the whole time, and I'm going to add my perspective. You know, we talked yesterday. I have, for the people watching, I have been in the trading space for a very long time. I have bought lots and lots of courses, many of which have come from you and your promotions, and I've tried many different things. And so I am working with John because the experience that I've had with him and his choices, his trades have been the most consistent and most profitable that I personally have experienced. And I was thinking about this. I don't remember the commercial. It was on TV. It was like Hair Club for Men or something. The guy was like, I'm the president of Hair Club for Men, and I'm the client as well. That's me. Like I'm here with John as part of the Delphi, and I'm also I'm in there every day as a user, experiencing all the things. And so there's lots of questions that I see coming through here. And so I'm trying to address these as I talk about this. So John has his protocol, for lack of a better word, of how he addresses trades and how he approaches things. And he has different levels of trade signals. And we'll call it the safest, I'm going to say, quote, safest trades, the ones that he's most confident in, go in the Delphi trade signal category, right? I've vetted it. I've looked at it. If you're going to take a trade and you're not going to take anything else, this is the one you should take. And then, like he showed you, we have the non-trade signal ideas. That's where, okay, it's not as guaranteed as I think it should be, but it's pretty confident. So I'm going to put it here. And then there's the chat channel where he's talking about things all the time. And there's some questions that I've seen come through of which ones do we take and all the things. This is not, John mentions ideas, but he's very clear when he says, I took this trade. UOA, unusual option activity. I took this one at X price and Y expiration. Like he tells you specifically on every trade that he's taking, as does Leviathan. Like there's nothing left to interpretation. It's very clear on what's happening, what trades they're taking, when it's happening, and what's going on. And then the other part of it is like in terms of like being the user in the experience is that what John's doing is twofold. One, it's like it's the popular metaphor of teaching someone to fish and giving them a fish, right? Like he's giving you fish every day. Like here you go, here's a trade, here's a trade, here's a trade. And at the same time, it's like, here's how you learn how to trade, and here's what I do, and here's how I do it. And he showed you a couple of examples in our testimonial channel of guys that came in and they didn't know anything, and they're now making significant profits because they just followed the system. Is this a get-rich-quick thing? No, absolutely not. It takes time, effort, energy, focus, just like any other skill on the planet. We're not promising that this is a magic bullet and tomorrow you're going to have $1 million. But the combination of trades that work and how do you learn how to find your own trades is a really magical combination, I think, in my opinion. Because everybody, I see some quotes in here. Some people want to trade futures. Some people want to do options. Some people want to do crypto futures. There's customers all over the board, and we have something for everybody and a way to develop that process and to, take the trades that, okay, well, John, why'd you take this trade? You post it in the chat. He'll tell you, well, here's the reason. I thought these 3 things. This is 4 things, 5 things. This is what I looked at. This is why I took it. He's very communicative and encouraging in the process. Like he's not just one way. It's not just like take this trade and don't talk to me. It's like, here's a trade, here's an idea, here's what's going on, here's what I think. And then the conversation and communication back and forth is super helpful for the whole Discord. Like he was showing the Discord channel. We've got guys who talk about things all the time. I've seen people in the Discord say, like, I think this is a trade. And John's like, not so sure, here's why. 1, 2, 3. Be aware of that. And now the person could take the trade or they could not take the trade, but at least they got some feedback, if that makes sense. So it's really a learning platform for how to be a better trader. It's so you can take trades and win in the process while you're learning how to be better at what you do, whatever that is, futures, options, swing trading, day trading. It's all encompassed in the process, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, for sure. I think that's the value in the service as well, completely. So, let's address a couple of questions here. So you can trade crypto options on TOS with Schwab. I don't know. Can you? So you can trade crypto options? No.
You can.
So that's a no-go. So, okay.
I'll clarify, and you guys can correct me. If you're talking about the specific crypto like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, you can't trade options on those. But Schwab has ETHU, Ethereum, which is a ETF. They have Bitcoin ETFs. They have other things that you can trade options on in those scenarios. But no, I don't know if they're asking specifically on that. Like Leviathan trades, he calls it futures options in Blowfin. That's different than Thinkorswim, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Sampath says, how much is a subscription per month? Is there a lifetime subscription? Any trial options? So from talking to these guys, like this is an elite service. This is not like some crappy Discord that you get from some like 20-year-old like dude who's just like coming up with crap. Like this is an elite subscription. Like this is the real deal. And so, no, there is no trial and there's no refunds. And you shouldn't be put off by that because it's something that encourages you to like really go for it, really like actually take action and focus on the subscription that you've purchased. So maybe you guys can comment a little bit on that.
John, you want to say anything, or you want me to?
I mean, yeah. As far as subscription goes, I tell people all the time and I always use the option flow as an example. And I've been on different platforms as a user, as a coach, a mentor, as a head trader, and for what we're charging and what we're offering is really, we have our developers even like, man, you guys are kind of, not charging enough, but it's not really, what we're looking to do. But just as an example, the data that I pay for the option flows that I get are just about the same price that we're charging monthly for our subscription for everything that I showed you. So, I know there's other services out there that charge a lot of money. Some may not. There's a lot of guys on social media. I can't really speak for them, but as far as what we're charging and what we're doing, we don't have a lifetime. It's monthly or yearly. Obviously, if you pay yearly, you get a discount. And I mean, look, if you come on for a month and you don't like it, you can always leave. You know what I mean? We're not doing any refunds or anything like that. But trust me, though, I tell people all the time. I mean, once you get into Discord and see what we're doing, you're going to be very impressed, and it's going to be hard for you guys to leave. So I don't know if Steve wants to say anything.
No. I think, John, thank you. I mean, everything you're saying is true. And like somebody's asking, can you trade with a small account? And I think this is a common question that people like, do I need, $250,000 to make this work? And the answer is no. Like the account that you started with and I don't know, small is relative to different people. The account you started with was 10,000 and you've grown that significantly. Does that mean you have to have 10,000? No, because at the end of the day, the position sizing and the size of the trades are the same regardless of the account size. Yeah. If you're going to trade, if your rules, John, yours are a little, you're super confident in what you do. So maybe you do 2.5 to 3% a trade, 50% stop loss. So if you lose 75, 0.75 to 1.5% a trade, that's what you do, right? Yeah. Somebody can say, I'm going to risk 1% and my 50% stop loss is 0.5%. Okay, that still works. If you're super confident and you've got, a win streak, you can risk 5% and risk 2.5. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, look, again, people ask this all the time. So allocation is a huge part. Again, we teach all this stuff, but I personally, I'd never go over more than 5% on a single trade. I'm usually between, 2, 3 to 5, somewhere there. But look, if you start off with a $10,000 account, I showed my Schwab account was under 2K, and now it's like up over 20,000. So you don't need a lot of money to start. You just need to have a good plan, allocation, risk management. Can't get emotional. That's a killer. But when you're starting off, let's just use 10K as an example, and you're going, let's say, 3 to 5%. That's $300 to $500 a trade. Okay, you scale that up as your account grows. So if you go to 20,000, you're staying at the 3 and 5%, but now that's $600 and $1,000 a trade. So that's how you see accounts scale up the way they do. I mean, again, what we've done this year, is crazy, but we've had some crazy trades. But that's how you scale your account. Some guys, they might teach or say, well, this trade looks better than another. Let me go 10 or 15% or 20% on the trade. I'm telling you right now, you cannot do that. I've had trades, and I wish I had my thinkorswim up. I don't have it up, but I've had trades like one on eBay, one on, some other ones I can remember that I thought, man, this looks awesome, and I thought we're going to be great winners. And the next day I closed them out because everything changed. So you can't go high on one, not another. No trade is guaranteed. Nobody's perfect. Anybody who's out there saying their win rate's 100% or 95% is fooling you. So, I mean, Leviathan's laughing because his crypto trades are like 90%. But yeah. All I'm saying is that you have to plan and strategize correctly and not get emotional And again, we're not here to get people that want to get rich quick. We're not looking for guys to come in with a $2,000 account, put $2,000 on the first trade, and hope they get a double. We do not want that. We have to plan long term, and this is a long term game. Okay, you're going to have bad weeks, you're going to have bad months, you're going to have a stretch of bad trades. You have to weather those. You know, take the. I have no problem getting in a trade if I'm losing 30-40%. I have no problem losing it and moving on. You can't get attached to your trades, and that's how you become profitable. If you don't do that, trust me, you're gonna end up losing in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. So Zach Rosenberg says, average hold time on average, how many positions are you in at once? You particularly, John, I guess is what he's meaning. That for a model portfolio of 10K, how realistic is it to get in close to the prices you get in? So this is a question I get a lot. It's like, sure, the guru might be doing really well, but like, how does that translate to the average subscriber? Like, is it? John,
before you answer, let me answer as a user, because I actually take the trades that John trades.
Yeah.
And the entry. So what the question? Because I was telling you, Russell, when we were talking yesterday, I've bought lots and lots of things, and there are some guys that it's specifically day trading, and I'm getting in at X, and then by the time you and 300 other people get in, X is now X plus, right? And you're like, okay. Most of John's trades are swing trades, so the time on the option and the time on the position is at the end of the week. Like the shortest time, like John will start like on a Monday or Tuesday, he'll buy a Friday option, right? Okay, so you got 3 or 4 days. If we're into Thursday, he's not buying a Friday option. He's often buying the next week option, right? So you got lots of time. And for people that have traded and know that, the time value, the longer it goes, the less volatile it is. So the answer to the question, which is like, is John going to like post it? He's going to get 50 cents. And by the time I get to it, it's going to be 75. That has not been my experience. I have gotten in positions that are at the same price John has. I've gotten positions that are a little bit more expensive. I've gotten positions that are less expensive, depending on the time that I get the signal, because the market fluctuates. But at the end of the day, the targets are the same, the position is the same, the position sizing is the same, the outcome is still the outcome. Sure, is there variance? Yes, but there's never been an experience where John's like, okay, here you go. I got in at 50 cents and I got out at 75. There you go. I hope you guys have a good day. It's 25 cents now. Like
you usually get in within 5% of the
Yes.
opening price. In other words,
Thank you, Levi.
so it doesn't move so fast that
No.
I've attended those discords where they're like up 40% and you're barely getting in. That does not happen, guys. So
No.
and with myself, I've always posted the trade first, and then I open my broker, then I type in the ticker, so everyone has.
I have a great example here of something that I posted, because Steve said that sometimes we post trades in the chat. So I have an example here today that I can just share my screen real quick to kind of show you.
Sure.
Where is the screen share? Is this it? Okay. So going in the Discord. Okay. So is it showing up? Okay, so this is the chat. So you can see here, I posted a trade. This came off of the UOA. Someone came in, they bought this FFIAI. Okay, now I know this company very well because I actually bought this like a year or so ago. It was like 3 cents and went to $4 in like 2 days. So I know this stock, and I know if these day traders or Wall Street bets or Reddit guys get on top of it, it could move. So I posted that I followed here. You can see here. Took some FFA super allows to follow UOA this week, $2 and $2.50. I post the price, and then why do I post it here? Because sometimes people ask. Because whatever I post here is usually very short dated. I mean, these are for Friday, but it could move fast. And you can see here, literally, I posted these at 7:47 a.m. 10 minutes later, I posted that I sold some at 23 cents. So these trades in the chat are not for your new accounts or your new traders, we tell people all the time, okay, as your account grows, you can afford to take riskier trades. Right now, these are very cheap, 15 cents and 4 cents. So whatever's being done in the chat, I always tell people only use your profits. Okay, if we have a great week on a Friday and I see some UOA that's very high risk, I don't like really trading the same day, but I can afford to take some of my profits, put some on a trade like this, and who knows, maybe it goes to 50 cents or whatever, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to show you as an example of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, let's wrap things up here a little bit. So I'm going to share my screen about what the Delphi Signal software actually is about. So this guy here basically said, do we have access to Delphi Signal software to use on our own? So I'm looking at the page that you guys sent me to share with everybody here. And so
let me answer that, Russell, while you're getting into it, because he had a couple other questions that didn't get answered, and he was asking about filtering stocks. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Delphi Signal doesn't necessarily say I want $10 or $15 stocks plus. It tells you based on the signal itself tells you based on the engulfing candles, the hammer candles, the signals that say we're about to have a reversal based on your trading checklist.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Now, if you want to filter that, go ahead.
It's not. It has nothing to do. There is. We do have a parameter. It's not. I think it's $10 or $15. So it's not going to spit out dollar. You're not going to see like penny stocks or like $1 or $2 stocks in there. I think we have it set for 10 or 15 or higher. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like there's not a self-selected setting in the software to say I only want stocks that are $20 or higher.
No.
You have a setting in the filter.
Right. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think Zach Rosenberg is the one asking. I think we addressed all of that. So that was that. And can you use the Delphi Signal on your own? Yes. When you join the membership, you have access to the signal itself and the Delphi channel or the Discord channel with all of the channels in it. So you can, if you're the kind of guy that doesn't want to be social and interact with everybody, absolutely you can use the training and the knowledge and use the signal and do your own trades, or you can take the trades from John in the channel and then not talk to anybody, or you can be the guy or person that's like, yeah, I want to be friends with everybody and talk to everybody at the same time. So it's whatever you want. Like all the pieces are included though. You've got the signal, the Discord, and the training. It's kind of like three different pieces.
We do have an educational video that I did on how to use the signal. So it's very important. I'm telling you guys, if you're going to come on board and join, go through the educational stuff first before you do anything. It's not, you're not going to spend 10 hours looking at videos, trust me. You have to go through from the first one down to the last one, take a weekend. It's crucial you do that, okay? You have to do that.
Cool. Well, I've posted the link to where you can actually buy the Discord and AI Scanner and Trading Alerts membership in the comments here. I'll also put it in the description below. So if you're watching the replay, just click on the description below and you'll be able to join these guys. So it's fantastic. Honestly, like this is one of the coolest services I've ever seen. I've been doing this for 15 years now. And I'm really excited to see you guys join up for this and commit to the fact that this is not a simple service. This is something that is like really put a lot of value into. And of course, it's going to come at a premium. So you guys are not going to get this for $50 a month or $20 a month. You're going to get it for whatever it costs right now, which is not cheap compared to a lot of these crappy Discords out there. This is something that's really powerful and really something different out there that really you don't get people sharing their results like this if they're not like a serious trader. So yeah. So let's see. Any more questions just while we finish up here? It's been over an hour, so let's
yeah, Zach Rosenberg, who said he's not the 2025 lacrosse goalie. It's his son's account. He mentioned that a minute ago, but
Yeah.
Zach, yes, you can use the software on your own, and you can use it for learning. It's tied together. There's the content. Like if you just use the signal, you're going to get the information, but tying in with the education that comes with the membership will tie the pieces together. So the answer to your question is yes, you can use the software on your own to trade on your own as long as you understand how you're supposed to use it. Will it just be a buy sell? No, that's not the way to use it. But if you want to learn and get better, absolutely, you can get. In fact, we could show it. We don't have, like, there were guys today in Discord that were like, hey, I used the process, I found this trade, and here's the percentage, win that I made. And John was like, good job, because like he took all the learnings and the signal and made it his own. So this is the same thing with any kind of trading. Like every trader ultimately, when you get successful, is finding your own way to make it work. I mean, we all know this. It's like it's your own magic sauce, taking from the pieces from everybody that you're learning from. So you can take stuff from John and then you make it your own, and you have your own process. So the answer to the question is yes.
Pretty cool. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, let's wrap it up there. I'm going to follow up with a few email, kind of email replays of this, and just kind of, if you have any questions, you can always, reply to the emails, and I'll either answer it or I'll put you in touch with the guys here, like John or Steve, and see if you guys want to be interested in this. This is something that I've never come across before. The fact that John was able to turn $10,000 into over $200,000 plus this year is absolutely insane. So it's on a whole new level. I've seen maybe one or two guys do that over the years, and they've not been as transparent with the results as John has. So I'm really excited about this. Hopefully you guys are too. So yeah, with that being said, let's wrap it up there, because we've been over an hour now, and we thought we'd maybe cut this to 45 minutes, but that's pretty cool. So any last comments you guys have?
Thank you, Russell. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for facilitating everything.
Cool. All right, guys, I'll make sure that you guys see links for the purchase if you want to join John and Co. in their Discord, and hopefully you guys join and make a lot of money. I'd be more than ecstatic to see that, because I think that's the end goal for all of us, right? Is to make some money doing this trading stuff. So, all right, with that being said, let's call it a day, and thank you guys for participating.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Let's end the stream there. So I'm just going to end it right now.